Finals, we're back. Dennis Geisler, Ryan Wayne. Finals. CP on the line.
CP. All the marbles. Well, most of the marbles.
All the marbles. Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, yes.
We've got Brandon Davis.
And then Junxi out one more time. And on Brandon's side, we're going to have that Urshifu single strike, that Hatterene, Gallade, Ursaluna, Hisui, and then we got that Torkoal and Indeedee.
And on Junxi's side, once again, I'll repeat it from before, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Golden Go, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Porygon 2, and the Landorus Incarnate. We did not see the Landorus Incarnate or the Urshifu in the last series because Junxi was going for that Trick Room setup.
Yes.
Trying to get that up early. But Brandon has that hard Trick Room Psy-Spam set up.
Yes, and we were talking about this earlier about before we started. It's like, you know, when it's two Trick Room users going up against each other, it's like, you're always like, all right, who wants to set it first? And like you were saying, Brandon definitely has the advantage by using the Trick Room, whereas it feels like a lot of what, you know, it feels like on the other team, you do have Urshifu Rapid Strike, so if it doesn't go through with that Trick Room, you have options to outspeed it.
And here we are, underway, the finals.
All right, and we're going to see a Landorus and Goldango, followed by the Urshifu and the Gallade.
Both teams going for a little bit faster of a lead here.
Potentially expecting the other to be like setting up that Trick Room.
It's also just not a bad idea to try to start with your fastest possible option and just do as much damage as you can.
True.
I think in this spot, it does kind of favor Brandon still to get the Trick Room up.
Yeah. He does have a lot of stuff in the back.
I mean, you can't not bring things with Brandon's team that have that are Trick Room prioritized. You literally cannot form a team of 4 that does not want Trick Room pretty badly.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Oh.
No Terrastal, no Switch Out. Golden Go just gets blasted by Wicked Blow.
Sometimes the obvious move is the best move.
It is Choice Scarf Urshifu, single strike.
And that Earth Power goes in the Gallade, takes over half. And then we're going to see that Trick Room set up right here now.
Good damage, but not good enough.
No, it will be faster. All right, so with this speed tier, we have the Gallade will probably move first, then the Landorus.
Well, the Amoonguss
but the
will move
Amoonguss
first now.
will
That's
be
for sure.
Reign Supreme and Raining Spores.
Yeah, and we know here that there is no prevention.
Well, the only prevention is to bring in your Ursaluna, protect it, and let that Flame Orb activate.
Yeah, but even then it has to come in at the right time.
Yes. Alright, so see him considering his options. Switching out, yeah.
And this could be an opportunity for Junxi actually to stall out many turns of Trick Room with Gallade. Genuinely just not threatening that much damage.
We are going to see a Terra into the Gallade. We're going to see that Terra Grass.
I like that. That's actually very good.
If he goes for that Earth Power one more time and goes into that slot and Sport, it's very playable. It's something where if they double up into that, it's a good read.
Yeah, Gallade at least gets one turn out of this.
Go into the Gallade. Nice call. Psycho Cut goes in there, almost takes that out. And then the Earth Power is going into that single strike.
Not going to take it down.
4. It's like, no. It didn't even want to. Yep, and that's going to be a critical hit.
It's not even Focus Sash Urshifu. It just took that.
It's like, I don't need a Focus Sash. I am a Focus Sash. All right, so we're going to see a Psycho Cut go into the Landorus this time.
This is a really nice spot for Brandon to be in because you can knock out either of these Pokemon more likely than not with a Psycho Cut, and you can kind of scare off a lot of their options for the most part. If Amoonguss goes down this turn, that's really bad for the Amoonguss. That's really bad for Junxi. And therefore, Amoonguss might go for a self-preservation move, even a switch out, which would then be good, as that is Ursaluna coming in.
Ursaluna will be coming in. I think, yeah, it's going to go for that side Pollen Puff.
And now it'll get the Flame Orb up. Is the most important thing, is that Ursaluna now gets that Flame Orb up immediately.
And now that Landorus does survive, is getting a Sludge Bomb into that Gallade. Very well played on Junxi's side.
Pretty well played, all things considered. Definitely good, but at the same time, like, the Ursaluna's in. Like, the Ursaluna is ready to go.
It is ready to go going into this thing, because usually, as I mentioned earlier, you would have to protect, and then that can always be a little tricky because, you know, because that's a move kind of wasted, because, you know, it's something where it's usually obvious that the Ursaluna is going to, you know, protect to get that flame orb.
Yeah,
but
in this case, the Torkoal also underspeeds the Amoonguss, so
Yep. So
I
we're
don't
gonna see
think
some big
anything is
damage.
taking this eruption right now.
Nope.
Oh, I love Ursaluna so much.
I don't think even if
He's
it's
a little
Incineroar's in the
bear.
back. He's a little bear.
I like the Ursaluna
He's
plush a lot.
squishy.
He
Yeah.
is squishy.
Yes. Dirty with all the mud and whatnot. It's
switch out here
into that Incineroar.
Yeah, into the Incineroar, which now means it is -1 on the Ursaluna attack, but eruption still gonna do a lot of damage.
Very much. Oh, we're gonna see protect.
It'll
on
do
that
single target
Landorus.
damage.
So here's the eruption, and that is going to do.
It'll probably do more damage than
I'd say over 50.
feels good.
Oh,
That's less damage than I thought.
Same.
Incineroar moment.
All right.
Absolutely an Incineroar moment. This Ursaluna has 2 ground type moves: Headlong Rush and Earthquake. Earthquake it probably doesn't want to use here because on account of its good friend Torkoal.
And Torkoal can't protect, so it definitely can't do that. And I think it's pretty safe to, because we saw how much it lives. Maybe fake out one of the two and then use.
Might even fake out the Torkoal.
Makes sense.
And see how that goes, because you do have the reduced stats on the Ursaluna. See if you can take that. I wouldn't feel great about doing that, but I would feel like trying it.
Well, I think it's really dependent on when
Switching out the
this
Landorus
trick room
nice.
is gonna come to a close real soon.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to be faster than that when the time comes. We're going to see a fake out into the Torkoal.
I like that. It'll reduce the damage from Torkoal just a little bit as well, but
Yes,
any little bit counts.
Yeah, and the Facade will take out the Amoonguss right here. Get a little Rocky Helmet damage just to, you know, has a little parting gift.
Just a little bit, but still a dangerous spot to be in if you're Brandon.
Very much so, because the dimensions
There
have
we go.
returned back to normal. And
no way to set Trick Room for Brandon, I'm pretty sure. The Urshifu is in the back to be able to clean one target up because it has 4 HP.
it does. Really depends
And
on...
the Torkoal is still locked into Eruption, so a big hit into Torkoal could make it way weaker.
Oh yeah, because like we were talking about earlier in the last match, Eruption, it's one of those moves where it's very HP based, and it's tough when you have this going into a Pokemon where it will be losing more and more HP as it goes on, because it has to survive all these hits that are coming its way. So this Eruption's not going to be doing too much by the end of this.
Yeah, exactly, especially if it is something like an Earth Power into that Torkoal.
Yes.
Which should reduce its damage pretty dramatically for, well, we protect.
We're going to
sure,
see
why not?
Protect.
I mean, Incineroar's taking so little damage against Eruption anyways. We either protect from the Ursaluna as well.
Is he going for a knockoff or a parting shot?
Nice parting shot.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I wonder now, because if you're Brandon, you have to decide between the alternative options of switching out your Torkoal and getting your best, fastest Pokemon. And Incineroar actually gets all the HP back with Citrus Berry, but the decision is either bring in Urshifu so that your Torkoal gets to be full damage, or bring in, or leave in your Torkoal to do nothing for a while and potentially lose because your Urshifu comes in and isn't able to do anything.
Yeah, it only has 4 hit points left. It's one attack, and like typically, you know, Sucker Punch wouldn't be a bad idea. But
at the very least, one of these 2 Pokemon needs to be knocked out by the time that Urshifu comes in. Like Urshifu can't come in with Torkoal doing no damage and with both of these Pokemon still standing.
Yeah, I think it's
at least one of them needs to be knocked out. Although potentially Ursaluna could be the one to do that. But
we're gonna see a substitute.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
it's a weird option, but I like it.
And then we're gonna see.
Ooh, not enough damage with that. And that could be dangerous because I think Incineroar could drop here.
We are going to see that Facade go into the Incineroar, knock it out.
Yeah. And I think at this point, this is actually a pretty bad spot for Junxi to be in.
No,
Like,
because
it was a good turn altogether for Brandon. This Eruption, I mean, it's still going to do decent damage. It'll still break the Substitute. I can't imagine it doesn't.
yeah, I am wondering why he didn't go for that Earth Power right then and there.
Yeah, I feel like it was a very passively played. Ursaluna will drop to one more. Maybe it's stalling out Ursaluna's existence.
Which, I mean, yeah, you can, but then...
I get it. The problem is you dropped a Wicked Blow when
Exactly.
Urshifu comes back in.
And
yeah,
yep.
Junxi's just going to call that one. Might have been trying to call a Protect or a Switch or something like that. Try to get a Substitute in, but...
True, but if it's going to... if the Torkoal's going to switch into the Urshifu, it's already going to be taking damage. It's low enough. You have 4 HP on it. It's going to knock it out no matter what.
Or it might have been hoping that the Flare Blitz would have picked up the Ursaluna.
True.
Which, if it did, then the Incineroar wouldn't have dropped, and the Urshifu would have had to come in.
Oh, I am looking at the Urshifu single strike on Brandon's side. It does not have any priority.
It doesn't have priority, but it has Scarf. So it's going to be faster than everything regardless.
All right, so going into this one...
Regardless, 1-0 Brandon Davis.
Yes.
Did not bring the Indeedee or the Hatterene in game number 1.
No. I think, well, I mean, looking at his side, I mean, when you have that Incineroar, you have that Goldango, it's tough to justify bringing the two sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong, Psy Spam, especially against that Amoonguss, is going to help out a lot. But at the same time, oh, it looks like he's going for it.
Now hold on.
Or that's always
you don't call the hovers. You wait. you wait.
I thought it was locked in, or like when you get that fourth usually. But no, I think still debating. Now we're locked in.
Locked in. We'll see how it turns out. We'll discuss it more when we get into it. Does Junxi change anything up here? I don't think there's anything that significant that needs to be changed. I don't think that... The Golden Go did absolutely nothing, so that could be something to change, but it's because the Golden Go just ate a Wicked Blow turn 1.
It didn't survive the thing, and I feel like when you're going into the game 2, it's like, alright, is it the Pokemon I bring, or is it the leads, or like, how can I play it?
At the very least, don't do that with Golden Go again, that exact thing.
No, that is a lesson you learn once. At least.
And it is the same lead.
Yes, it is the same lead. We are going to see that Urshifu back, but with an Indeedee this time around.
We do. It does mean that the priority's blocked, but there's basically no priority in this game.
Urshifu's going to outspeed everything on that side.
I think it's just the Incineroar fake out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think at this point, you can either try to Terrasilize the Golden Go and try to eat one Wicked Blow.
Ooh, we're going to see a Stellar.
I like this choice. I want to hold for things to happen, but I do like where Brandon's going with this. And if you are on Junxi's side, do you switch out the Golden Go? Do you
Terra yourself? It's always...
Yeah, you could Terra the Golden Go as well to try to eat the hit.
It doesn't always resist it though, and that's always like the tricky thing. The Landorus will stretch out.
What is Landorus going to switch into?
The Amoonguss.
Ooh, the Amoonguss. This could be a really big play.
A helping hand.
This is a really big play regardless, because I don't think Amoonguss is that important.
No.
So we will see here the Terra Stellar, Urshifu, single strike.
Yes, it is
There's
always
his cool hat.
It's always interesting seeing the Stellar on something that is choice, because the whole beauty of using Stellar is like, okay, you can use super effective on each one of your moves, getting that Terra charge. So like you will have to swap it out each time to utilize that.
Wicked Blow.
And it
not gonna be enough.
Just misses.
Not
gonna get some wrong. Nope.
And now the Make It Rain comes through.
And that Urshifu is gone.
I like that turn a lot from Junxi. I do not know how Junxi read that, but that was perfectly read.
Maybe he had to push through like the fear of what happened of losing that Goldango.
Exactly.
And then well played. Very much benefits him in this scenario. Now losing one of the big damage dealers on Brandis' side.
Absolutely, and you have a lot of options here. Neither of these Pokemon really threatens you that much, so if you want, Golden Go can go for a nasty plot here. Amoonguss can switch out, Amoonguss can Spore.
Yeah.
If Amoonguss wants Regenerator, it can switch out, or it can like try to Spore and get something here. to try to force something to attack it.
Can even protect, because I feel like the Psycho Cut into it is pretty obvious. Might as well just get rid of it. Because this Goldango will need some time to like recoup using a nasty plot or two because, didn't set up any nasty plots prior to setting off that move.
The Gallade switching out into the Ursaluna. We've seen all 4 Pokemon now for Brandon. Goldango will go for the nasty plot.
All right.
Now at +1 special attack here.
Are we going to see a Spore?
Ooh, it is the Spore. Into the Indeedee. Indeedee, being the slowest there, must have been going for a Trick Room. Now can't get the Trick Room up, and Ursaluna is looking a little embarrassed out here now.
Yes, very embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
And now it's a little burned by that joke. And it's Flame Orb. And the tough thing is, because that Goldango is faster, and then also this Goldango has, the thing about Ursaluna, its special defense is not always the best.
Yeah, you can cover, it's still reasonably bulky, all things considered, but it's still getting hit by a +1 Make It Rain. It's going to be taking some serious damage this turn.
All right, we're going to see a withdrawal here from the Amoonguss.
I like that switch
Is it going
out.
to Lander? Yes.
I like that. It makes it so that one of your Pokemon is immune to Earthquake, but the Earthquake damage is still, like, reduced.
Yes.
Big damage.
Getting knocked out in its sleep, and then reducing the HP on the Ursaluna to over half. We're going to see that Earthquake.
Ooh, it is single target damage.
And that will knock down the Goldango. But at that point, it's done a lot. It took down 2 big parts of Brandon's team.
And done a lot of damage itself, and now Landorus is coming in against... Like, at this point, there's not a whole lot that Brandon can do to stop Ursaluna from going down this turn, at which point Gallade is absolutely not going to be able to carry it all itself.
Especially with this Rapid Strike, and this Rapid Strike is Terra Water, so can't use any Psychic moves against if that's what, Junxi wants to use for his Terra. Easily take down the Gallade or take down the Ursaluna.
Yeah, I think the problem is one of these Pokemon is going to... Yeah, one of them is going to finish off the Ursaluna, not even needing 3 Surging Strikes.
Nope, Surging Strike.
It was Surging Strike, singular.
All right.
And then that Landorus is going to hit this with Gallade reasonably hard. I think we saw earlier that it was two hits to knock it out.
Yes.
Let's get the Trick Room up, but ultimately,
it doesn't have any spread moves. It's going to be this is going to be win for Junxi, and we will be going into a Game 3.
Game 3, Psycho Cut. Does it one-shot? It does. We learn that now. That's important information to have for both of these players, that Psycho Cut. It makes sense the Psycho Cut does.
Yeah, especially in the terrain.
But, oh yeah, especially in the terrain. I didn't even think about that. But anyways, game number 2, Junxi taking it. We're going to game 3.
Little minor flex. He didn't have to use his Terra.
yeah, no Terra at all. I mean, sometimes like sometimes you hold on to your Terra too long because you're like, I need the perfect situation for it. But I think Junxi has a lot of Pokemon that just like have it as an option, as like a nice defensive option if they need it, but they don't really need it a lot of the time. Like Goldengo is Terra Dragon. It never needed to Terra Dragon. It just never had a situation where it had to do that. And Sonora's Terra Poison. Never really had a perfect opportunity to Terra Poison. Same with Porygon too. There are 3 Terra Poison Pokemon on this team. That's also probably part of it. There are 3 Terra Poison Pokemon on this team, and an Ursaluna with Earthquake and Headlong Rush on the other side. You probably don't want to set yourself up for that. And also a bunch of Psychic types.
The only, well, I mean, that's why, if it wasn't already like written in the sand, because like the Urshifu, my bad, could have Terra and do Surging Strike that way, but like when you're that close to the end, when one move from either or is going to do the job, sometimes it's a flex, sometimes it's just an honor thing without showing off. I think it's just dependent on how the other person perceives it. Why not make a show out of it?
Yeah, always why not make a show out of it? And at the end of the day, when the game's done, the game's done. What matters is the one next to your name on the screen here.
Exactly. Championship points does not you don't get extra ones for style.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what the choice is here for Brandon. Again, we have not seen the Hatterene all series.
No,
We've seen all the other Pokemon.
He is going to use it.
See it now though, and Junxi will lock in as well. Game number 3, all the marbles for day 1 of the weekend.
Let's go.
See if Junxi decides to change anything up here.
All right. And we are going to see the Goldango and Landorus. We are not going to see, at very least, the leads. Well, they kind of swap spots, at least.
Yeah, swapping spots, but no difference in the leads. And now a decent opportunity to just get the Trick Room Psychic Terrain up right now. Hatterene could protect if it wants to.
I'd say that's pretty important because, like, the thing is, that Sludge Bomb would do massive damage into that Hatterene because of its fairy type. Oh,
yeah,
we are going to see a Terra Fire.
Yeah, it has the option to Terra. Like, there are a lot of options for Brandon here. I mean, that's why this lead is so good, is because there are a ton of options to get Trick Room up and a ton of options to, like, if you just want to get rid of your Indeedee immediately, just get the Follow Me off and get Indeedee out of there. Like, get it blown up immediately. There's certainly an option. I think the bigger issue is potentially getting Make It Rained. Because that can't be Follow Me away. That might be why the Terra and the Follow Me are both coming out this turn.
Yeah. Because that Landorus doesn't have spread rooms. There's no, you know, it doesn't do that. So at least one of the moves will be going into the Indeedee. Guaranteed, and then if it decides to make it rain, it'll be resisted. So very safe turn. Get up that Trick Room because we looked at Junxi's team last
nice play.
Ooh.
Nice play to substitute there. Very nice. It does probably mean though that the Indeedee will take this hit and we'll be able to click Follow Me next turn.
Yes.
And the Golden Go might not be too long for this battle because everything has now been set up for the expanding force.
The Psy spam is coming. Is here, actually.
Yeah. And now the question is, do you want to Follow Me to try to protect your Hatterene longer? Do you want to try to get something else in? Do you need Hatterene long term?
It looks like he's opting to go in and switch in this Ursaluna. Because, I mean, like, the big threat right now is the Hatterene. And I feel like if I'm in Junxi's position, it's like, all right, if it gets Follow Me, it gets Follow Me. But right now, in case they don't go for it, I need to zero in on this Hatterene. It's going to be doing massive damage.
Yeah.
We're going to see
Golden Go will protect, which is a solid play there. But also, if it's a double protect, that could also be, really nice then from Brandon. It does stall out a turn of Trick Room, but it means that Ursaluna comes in 110% for free.
Yep, and it will get that burn automatically.
Yeah.
So
it feels really nice about switching in Ursaluna right in the middle of a turn. It's like, I took no damage, I get burned, I get my guts up. Oh, it feels so good.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how Brandon's feeling right now.
Oh, yeah.
And at this point, Brandon's got to feel great because
he has all the fast stuff right now.
Yeah, and Hatterene should go before Ursaluna, which means that Hatterene should be able to break the substitute on Landorus, and then Ursaluna should be able to finish it off, potentially.
Definitely.
If that's the decision that Brandon decides to go for.
I think that's probably best because the double protect is 30% chance. Also, sometimes, even if that might be your best thing to survive one thing, it's like Trick Room's not going to end soon. It's too fast of a play to even try and go for the double protect.
Yeah, I don't know what Junxi can even really do right now. Like, I think let your Pokemon get run over.
Yeah.
There's the expanding force.
It doesn't do too much as a Golden
way less to the Golden Go than I thought it would.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense. It is a resisted move.
Yeah.
But getting the Landorus out of the way is a much bigger deal right now with Golden Go at -1.
Very much so, because it has, the poison, it has the earth, and there is the Landorus.
There's the big bear slap.
Yes. So what does this Goldango go for? It is going to go for Make It Rain, see what it can take. Does very minimal damage on each.
Yeah, not something you love seeing if you are Junxi. It is at -2 now as well, so you kind of need to switch it out or get a nasty plot up if you're trying to do any damage, but already you're doing basically no damage here.
Yeah, I mean, and we're looking on Junxi's team. Landorus was the only thing that could, that was immune to the Earth-type moves, which is, so, yeah, Junxi can go into Dragon, but I feel like putting your Terra on Goldango right now with everything that it has, it's not going to do you any good.
Well, yeah, and it also means that
Yeah.
you can get hit by like Dazzling Gleam or something.
Dazzling
like
Game,
you still
you
get
know,
hit.
it's not going to be that
and
expanding.
and it's still
yeah.
neutral against Headlong Rush or
And that expanding force would be, you know, neutral damage, which will do a lot more. That would knock it out. So,
yeah.
you know, it does look like Brandon has a pretty big advantage right now.
Yeah, Brandon is absolutely running everything
Because
over.
even with this Amoonguss, that Spore's not going to do anything into either one.
Yeah, Spore will not be able to hit either one, and unless it terastallizes, it's probably done before it gets to Spore.
It's going to protect.
It's going to protect. Yeah, I like Junxi trying to stall out turns. Another another double protect here. So there's one more turn of Trick Room, I believe, after this.
All right. So, yeah, it's always like...
I believe this is the last turn of Psychic Terrain and the last turn of Trick Room coming up.
Yeah.
Earthquake. Ooh, but the Earthquake is actually going to take out the Hatterene. That's a little unfortunate.
So a little victory for Junxi as a result.
Yeah, that's actually a more significant victory than I think that we're acknowledging, because Torkoal can come in here for the last turn of Trick Room and get off like an eruption, but the problem is like the Terra is still available for Junxi, and so going like
Terra Water.
Yeah, going Terra Water Amoonguss means now your Amoonguss is like really resistant to everything remaining.
Very good, because Ndidi is not known for its damage output.
Yeah, like and even past that, it means that you're forcing the Torkoal out. I really don't like Choice Specs Torkoal. I really prefer Charcoal.
Charcoal is fun, especially because, you know, locking yourself into a move that's HP dependent is always risky.
It's always risky, especially when you're as slow as Torkoal is. Yes. Obviously, it feels great under Trick Room, but outside of Trick Room, it feels like really scary. And Trick Room ends this turn. Golden Go's going to switch out. This could be an opportunity to Terra this Amoonguss, because I believe
we're going to see the Urshifu.
Okay. Could mean Urshifu's just, like, getting pretty messed up right now. I mean, we'll see the Terastal. It is going to be that Terra Water Amoonguss.
Yes.
So both of these are now resistant to Eruption.
Yeah.
It'll still take some real damage against Eruption,
and then Brandon
but they're both resistant.
Did use Earthquake if I'm... No, he went for Facade.
We'll see what the... Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Both took over half, so Facade will finish off either of them. And we'll go against the Amoonguss. It does finish off the Amoonguss. That's good for Brandon. That's very good for Brandon.
Very good indeed. You know, no more redirection, no more any of that.
Does mean now that Urshifu comes in, it's got the Choice Scarf, it's got enough HP remaining, it's not horribly upset. It is in Sun, and they're not able to nobody's able to change the sun.
The weather, no.
At this point.
That is a lot of what we see in Regulation F. Like, there will be, typically, you will see at least one if there's weather, it's going to be one person.
Yeah.
Or that's what I've kind of noticed based on what I've seen on the ladder, what I've been seeing on stream.
Yeah, if you don't have like a back pocket Tornadus or something, you a lot of time don't have a way to change like a sunny weather condition.
No. And Pelipper teams are very, very, you know, focused on that. And then like, it's still popular. I faced one during my time here, but you know, there's flexibility with a Pokemon that can, you know, have Prankster and just Rain Dance whenever. It's more selective. But, you know, that's a lot of thing too. Like, even when it comes to Tailwind, it's another thing that's been kind of like falling off a little bit as well. So we're going to see Surging Strikes.
See the Surging Strikes. It will...
It looks like it will.
I think it will finish off the Ursaluna.
Unless it's a really low damage roll.
Very narrowly, it's able to finish off the Ursaluna. Does mean now that nothing too high damage is going to go into this Torkoal before it's going to be able to launch out another Eruption. But will the Eruption do enough to... Okay, first, how much does the Shadow Ball do?
Over
That's
half,
very good damage.
100 damage.
This should be somewhere around like a 70 base power.
Golden Go is gone.
Golden Go is gone.
Golden Go is golden gone.
It is indeed golden gone, and this could be an opportunity for Brandon's own... Oh wait, no, it's Indeedee in the back.
And it can use that Follow Me for where the Surging Strike goes, and that will finish off the Urshifu.
Can indeed do that.
And yeah, that's it. That's all he has to do.
Yeah, that is true.
Follow Me, and then yeah, Brandon has locked this in.
Yep, there's the Follow Me.
And then there, yep. Surging strikes. And
Locked
is it
into
gonna be
it.
one? Yep. Surging strike.
Surging strike finishes it off. Brandon Davis.
Congratulations. I know he's a 49er fan, and the Super Bowl being tomorrow, it's going to be a big weekend for him. Yeah, congratulations, Brandon. Congratulations to all of our contestants today. Everyone did their best. Everyone had a lot of fun. This was a great beginning to the weekend.
Yeah, tons of great battles today, and Brandon's team just really got it done. SoCal is known for Psy Spam, and
Yep.
Psy Spam wins once again.
It does. Congratulations once again to Brandon. Yeah, he saved the Hatterene for the very end. In that last match, very touching. It looked like it was tipping in favors, and each side, great plays all around. Exciting final match. I'm glad to have witnessed and commentated with you.
Yeah. Some reminders before we go. We are still. I should stop trying to point at it. We are still running to support the Child's Play charity. Donates therapeutic games and technology to pediatric hospitals. You can go to childsplaycharity.org to learn more and donate with the QR code on screen or !donate in chat. Or you can do it tomorrow, which leads into the other point. There's another